Let us speak about business modeling and business model development. What are the main problems in creating innovative business models that bring something new that didn't exist in well-established businesses? Gassman, Frankenberger, and Schick describe three main problems of business model creation. First problem is that usually startup founders think in the terms of dominant industry logic. So they think the way most of the people in the industry think around them. But in order to create an innovative business model, we should go outside the domain of existing logic. We should think differently, not like all other people. It's hard, but when you find this way of thinking, you create something new. Another problem is difficulty of thinking in terms of business model rather than technologies or products. Of course, many startups start by some product or some technology which they feel can be successful. But a well-established business is not only a product or a technology. It's a combination of products, technologies, activities and resources, key partners and logistics that together make the business successful. So technologies or products is a crucial point, but they are not enough to be successful. And the third problem is the lack of systematic tools, the way how to systematically create and then develop a business model. Business model is not something that can be created through 1 week of brainstorming and then exist forever. It can and should be developed. It can change as an answer to changes in tastes of consumers or changes in the business environment around the startup. So, what are the business model development tools that can be applied to business model creation? Many of them are quite simple. For instance, transfer. You can just take a business model that successfully operates in one industry and bring it to another industry, an industry where our startup operates. Another tool is combination, just by taking 2 or 3 or maybe more business models that already exist and are well documented, well described. We combine them, taking different features from different business models and create a new business model that shares best practices from different business models. Another very important tool is customer's advice. When you create a business model, why not to ask a customer what does this customer needs? In many cases, we see that the problem is not in the product by itself, but by many other things that surround this product. The way the consumers get the access to this product, how they use it, how they get supplementary materials and supplementary products connected to this product, and so on and so forth. So this tool gives an advice to ask consumers and make the consumers be the driver of business model creation. Another tool is visualization. You've seen that Canvas business model was a drawing. So you can just take these 9 blocks, draw them the way I've shown you, and by this use visualization to see clearly the main cause and effect relationships inside your business. Another tool, prototyping, uses the ideas that came from architecture and design. prototype is just the vision of a business model, and the crucial point in prototyping is that you should create a lot of prototypes. One prototype, another, third one, as much as you can imagine, and only then you can look at which prototypes are better and maybe which features of different prototypes you want to use, and through this process you can get your new business model. Storytelling, another very important, interesting tool that is widely used in business nowadays. When in storytelling we make stories that describe some imaginary but close to life situations, and through these stories we try to be as close as possible to our customers and to real life interactions of our startup with the customer. So we can, by storytelling, we can imagine our potential customer, Mr. Smith or Mr. Jones or whoever it may be, firm X, and we create a story of how this Mr. Jones lives his life, what is he doing, and where in this life our startup may be, how it can influence his life. By this, we become close to the real needs of our consumer, and based on that, create a business model. And another tool is scenario construction, when we create some scenarios of events that happen in the lives of our customers, and through that we develop a business model that solves the problems through different scenarios of how the events can happen. The business model generation process consists of 5 stages. The first stage is team composition. The main question throughout this stage is the question about our team. Is the team sufficiently diverse to generate a fresh business model, to generate enough ideas? The more homogeneous is the team, the more complicated it is to come to some unexpected ideas that can lead to a breakthrough. So we need a diverse, a heterogeneous team with people with different experience in order to share this experience and come to something new, something innovative. The next step, in this process is immersion. The crucial question throughout this step is which elements must we study before generating model ideas. So during this step we define what information do we need and what information we lack in order to create a new business model. The third step is expanding. We ask the crucial question, what innovations can we imagine for each business model block? There are 9 business blocks in Canvas business model, and in each block we can propose some new ideas, innovative ideas, how we can organize this block. And innovation doesn't need to be innovation for the whole business model. Sometimes by changing some small details we can bring our startup to a huge success, because we are already through this small innovation are different from other businesses, our competitors. The fourth step is criteria selection. The crucial question throughout this step is, what are the most important criteria for prioritizing our business model ideas? We need to create some measurement of good business models and not so good business models. Which ideas are good, which are maybe not so good, they won't work. This all can be defined only through simple criteria. Of course, these criteria should come from market and from our consumers. The ideas should be those that consumers will take and will like them. And the fifth step is prototyping. As you remember, prototype is just the vision of our business model, and the crucial question throughout this stage is, what does the complete business model for each shortlisted idea look like? And I need to emphasize that by building a business model, we shouldn't build just one ideal business model. We can make huge mistakes by making a business model which we think is the best, but the consumers may think differently. So by making few business models, we can compare them, we can use them, and if one of the business models show up to be not so successful as we were expecting, we can swiftly change something, change to another business model, or take some other elements of other prototypes of other business models and implement them into our main business model.